G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. So we've built ourselves a stand and another native beehive box. The aim will be to split our existing hive and make 2 new hives out of it. Now I've weighed it and it's over 3 kilos when you take away the weight of the wooden box. So that should suggest that she's well and truly ready to be split. I'm not actually going to do it today because it's quite overcast. Looks like we might be headed for rain, and you don't want to split a hive in the rain. If it gets wet inside, you can get fungus and all sorts of yucky stuff you don't want. So the bottom 2/3 is essentially an empty box. Voila. Now that ply on top there is in fact to make a honey super, which is over here. So that obviously goes upside down on the bit you just saw, and they store their honey in there, and their brood gets put in the bottom here. So hopefully you'll see that when I split the other hive, but I just wanted to show you it empty so you can see how it works. Now a lot of folks have what's called split bars across there, and that's for 2 reasons. It's to stop the top half of the brood slumping back down in, and I suspect it also makes it easier to split the brood. But I'm not going to do that. What I do is I just run a piece of tape across the middle. I figure that way they can either pull that out or do whatever the hell they want, which they might be able to do if it was wood. Alrighty, so let's wait for a sunny day, shall we? And that's where it's going to sit, there behind the green little fountain. The idea is it's fairly close to the other hive. Notice that it's lower. That's quite deliberate. Now, I can't quite remember. One lot of bees goes back to the original hive. Oh yeah, the original hive's in the bottom, so it will be on the lower one, and the foragers that way will return to the newer hive, which was where the old one was. So that's the plan. It's just they're under the tree like that because it's bloody hot over here, and if it gets over 40 degrees for too long, you can actually slump. All the inside of your hive gives way, and that's pretty much death for a hive. So hopefully the setup is good. We're going in. Okay.
What are you doing, Andrew?
I'm just taking off the tape so I can get a chisel in there. I don't have a hive tool, but I do have a chisel.
You've got your other box ready and your honey collector ready?
Yep. I've got to get this cracked open enough so that I can get a knife in there. Hopefully without destroying the whole box. As they do it, you can see the box is sort of coming apart in a bad way. And that is cutting through the walls that they build. So they'll be getting pretty stirred up now. go on. Okay, so I think that's ready to open, which will be interesting. Now, you might want to try and zoom in on what we reveal as we open it, Rosie, if you can. If I can get it open. Alright, there you go. So that's done exactly what I wanted it to do in terms of the split. You can see the bees are very unimpressed. So what I'm doing now is just putting a bit of tape across to stop any potential slump in the brood. Of this one.
How do you get the honey, Andrew?
Oh, that's the very last thing we're going to do, Rosie. And that just get it back on there. Oh yeah, you can see, have a look at this. You'll see where that box has come apart. So I obviously want to get a lot of that out of the way, otherwise I'll never get the box shut. I'm glad I got the face thing on. Alright, here as well. So they don't sting. Alright, that's the one that the top goes on. I am going to take some of this building material away. So what I'm trying to do obviously is get as neat a seal as I can get when I put it back together. And this one just goes on there like that. So this is the original brood. So that's the one that we're least likely to lose. Now if you come around here, Rosie, you'll see the bees around that building material, so they'll be looking to reuse that. What I'm going to do now is tape that up as best we can, and the reason we do that is so the pests, particularly things like syrphid flies, can't get in, because the bees need time to get all this resealed up.
That's a really impressive headgear that you've got on, Andrew.
That was bought when I was out west. It's actually designed to stop flies.
So I still am unsure how you harvest the honey.
Well, the honey is in the top third of that box over there. And it's a similar process to what you just saw. So hopefully I didn't kill too many bees in this, doing this.
Doesn't look like it.
That's probably foragers and stuff that are been out and about and they can't find their hive. So they're all confuserated, wondering what the hell is going on here. Okay, so what I was saying was that I'm not going to harvest honey, and the reason being is I have a decayed section in the front of this hive that I really need to swap. So we'll have to make a new middle section, which is going to be a bit interesting, which will mean the whole brood will have to be relocated, which will be a bit of, yeah, a little bit of hijinks, but you do what you do, I guess. And I never worry that much about the honey. My reason for raising the bees is more about keeping the bee species going than it is about getting honey. But there you go, that's how you split a hive. I'm not sure whether you can see that cloud of swarming bees. So how did I think that went? Well, on the whole, I think it went extremely well. I was very happy with the way the brood came apart. Wasn't so happy with the way I rejoined the boxes. That wasn't as good a seal as I wanted, even under the tape, but it's as good as I could do. So the other thing it's going to cause a drama is that middle one on the top, so the top two boxes off the original hive, that's buggered. That front entrance there is really eaten away. It's rotted, obviously. So I'm going to have to make a new box. I mean, there's no hurry. I'm going to have to make a new box and try and transfer all of the brood into the new box. So it's a bit like a hive rescue, I guess. That won't be fun. So that was my biggest disappointment. Of course, I wasn't even going to try and harvest honey when I was worried about the condition of the box. I thought, oh, they'll probably need all the bloody food they can get, you know. Otherwise, yeah, I think that was a split that went pretty well, all things considered.